So a few weeks back, I did a video on, are you building a sellable business? And the idea was that whether or not you actually intend to sell your business, that if there's a couple things that you're doing in your business to make it a stronger, more sellable business, it's going to make you a business that's more ready to grow and scale. And of course, it puts you in a position that if you ever did have a buyer or you ever got into a place where you wanted to sell, that it would actually be in a position to do that. Today, I want to talk about actually adding value to your business and ask the question, are you building a valuable business, not just a sellable business, right? And so there's a few things that I'm going to do at the end of this video. There's three things specifically that I'm going to share with you that you can be doing to add significant value to your business. So that if you found a buyer that it would be 2x or 3x or 5x the price tag because you have one or all of these three things in place for your business. But I started thinking about this because I like to browse a website called Microacquire.com from time to time. And essentially it's just a startup acquisition marketplace. It's a place where if you've got a business that either was a side hustle or something that was a startup that you've taken as far as you can, or you're looking for some sort of liquidity event to get out of your business, you can go and post it on microacquire.com. And then people who are looking to buy businesses that they either feel like their skill set that they added to an existing business can start to increase the value of that business and grow it over time, or they're just looking to swallow up a whole bunch of businesses, whatever the reason may be, that it's a really cool marketplace to buy and sell startup businesses. And so I like to browse this for two reasons. Number one, just to see if there are any opportunities that if I find a business that I feel like would be right for me and the cash or the buy price was right, maybe it'd be something that I'd actually do and take over that business, operate it, and either build it as a cash flow play or add enough value that I could then turn around in a couple years and sell that for a significant gain. The other reason that I like to browse Microacquire though is I like to use it essentially as a learning tool. I want to learn what types of businesses out there that are going to shock me in the amount of revenues and profits that they're generating. And are there businesses that I could actually find ideas that I can go and probably build a very similar business and actually build a business that based on somebody else's idea that I can compete with them and hopefully build a significant and valuable business or create some good cash flow for myself in terms of whatever business I wanted to build. And as I start to do that, I really realized that a lot of businesses just overvalue what the actual value of the business is. They think that they're, just looking at kind of the 12 months revenue, 12 months profit, last month's revenue, last month's profit, and kind of an overview of the business, which is what you can get on all of these different businesses without actually asking more. But then you see the asking price and it just seems like based on those metrics, it's crazy that they would want that sort of valuation. And so I always ask myself, what would it cost myself to actually just go build that business from scratch? Is it less than the asking price? And if so, then I probably would never consider buying that business. I'd consider just going and building a similar or a competing business with the resources that I have. But if I did want to buy a business, it would be because of one of two things. Number one, that I feel like my resources and my abilities added to the existing business could catapult that business to new levels, right? That maybe it's missing the right skill sets, the efficiency or the vision or the different things that I feel like I can bring to a business to help it increase in value, that it's just missing that. It's a good product that has product market fit, but they're missing some things by me purchasing and taking that I could take it to the next level. The second reason I would buy a business is because I just, with all the money in the world, I just couldn't go rebuild it, right? And so there's three things specifically that you can do that can put your business in that second category, that makes it so that nobody can just come in and compete with you unless they have a whole bunch of time and a whole bunch of resources that they can dedicate to get their business to the place where yours is. And that's where the gold is in business. That's where the real value is in businesses. So three things that you can do to add significant value to your business today are these. Number one, focus on building proprietary products or IP. Right? If somebody has a business where I saw one on there today that they're selling precious stones or whatever they are, these metals and trinkets that people, and it's just a drop shipping business. And their big value proposition was that they had built a relationship with a supplier overseas that can ship in 7 to 12 days and will do their custom packaging. If you're trying to sell me a business for $80,000 or $100,000 or 4 or 5 times profit based on the fact that that's what you're really bringing to the business and maybe a website and a couple customers, I just don't see why I couldn't go rebuild that business from the ground up for significantly cheaper, right? It would take me probably 2 to 3 weeks to go find that supplier that can do everything that you've wanted to do. And then I have the same ability to go advertise and post things on Facebook. And there's nothing proprietary about that business. It's just a business that somebody's put a little bit of time and energy into, but nothing that's worth $80,000 or $100,000 or 3, 4, 5 times revenues that they were asking, right? And there's dozens of businesses that are just like this on Microacquire. Well, people have some sort of legwork that they've done or some sort of library of something that they've built, but it's not proprietary in any way. And that price tag should be significantly less. It really just becomes a math problem at that point of how many X profits are you willing to invest without, so that you can shortcut having to do whatever legwork they've done. But if you can build things that are proprietary or have IP that you own, that nobody else can compete with, and sometimes this is part of the supply chain, right? Maybe you have an in to certain products that nobody else can get. Maybe you do have exclusive agreements or contracts. Maybe you have patents or you've built your own IP. A lot of times you talk about software, SaaS businesses that they own that product and nobody else can go without a significant time and money go build a competing product. And even if they did, it's just duplicating what you've built. You already have a big enough head start. So proprietary product, proprietary intellectual property is one way that you can add significant value to your business, because people can't just go out and easily copy it with just a little bit of legwork or a little bit of money. The second thing that you can do to add significant value to your business is what I'm going to call brand, right? If you have a strong brand, if you have loyal customers, if you've built a real audience, if you have customers that just absolutely love you and talk about you and do all their business with you and tell their friends about you, if you've built an audience of 100,000 or 500,000 followers that interact with you and engage with you on social media, these are things that you can't just go out with money and purchase, right? It means you've invested into your brand over time, and that brand, no matter how good a competing product is, becomes really difficult to actually compete with. And so if you don't have anything that's proprietary through your product, your intellectual property, you can always go out and build a brand of loyal people, loyal customers, loyal followers, loyal audience who will do anything that you want them to do. And it becomes really difficult to peel them away into a competitor. And if you have that, people can't just go in and duplicate and replicate your business and steal your customers away, because you already have built that brand loyalty. So proprietary product and IP, brand loyalty. And then the third thing is recurring revenue. This is what almost any business owner loves, is when you can walk into a business and know that day one, you don't have to go out and get your next customer. Even if it's proprietary and people can't compete, even if you have customers who you're pretty sure are going to continue to do business with you and place new orders and interact with you on social, that stuff could potentially go away. But recurring revenue, you buy a business and day one, you know that you have profits or you have cash flow coming into the business because it's a monthly subscription or an annual subscription or something that customers pay you on a recurring or a regular basis. And if you can build a business that has recurring revenue, it becomes significantly more valuable than a business that has to go out and get customers month after month after month in order to keep that same momentum and that same cash flow coming into the business. Now, one of the things that you'll notice is that all three of these things, they build resilient businesses. And if anybody wants to buy a business and they want to pay the full value, it's because it has to be a resilient business. The last thing I want to do is pay 3x or 4x or 5x profits of your business, and in 2 years profits are cut in half because I didn't have any resiliency. I had no moats around the business that could really protect the business from competitors coming into the space or customers leaving and going elsewhere. And so try and build moats around your business. These are 3 ways that you can clearly build resiliency, moats around your business, and add a ton of value to your business so that if you do decide to sell your business, that it will be significantly increased in value because you have one or all of these 3 things: proprietary product or IP, brand with customers and audience and a loyal following of people, and then that you have built a business with recurring revenue where day one, you know that you have cash flow. You don't have to compete to go get your same customers again and again and again. Hey, hopefully that helps you to think of ways that you can start to go out and add more value to your business so that if and when you ever do decide to sell your business, you can 2x, 3x, 5x the number that ends up on your plate because you've done one or all of these 3 things.